If you were called the toughest creature on Earth, a tardigrade, as resilient as the sun itself, this little sausage with legs, just hatched from its egg, would be you. You're a microscopic tardigrade, invisible to the naked eye. What sets you apart is you already have 8 stubby little legs and some weird-looking claws, plus a tube-like mouth that always looks surprised. The first thing you feel is moisture. Right now, you're in a tiny droplet of water, on a patch of moss clinging to an ancient oak tree in a forest. That droplet is your entire universe. You look around, trying to find your mother, hoping she might offer some guidance for life. But she's long gone, having left you behind after laying her eggs. You take your first wobbly steps, looking pretty awkward, but luckily, no one's watching, except for those invisible bacteria, which don't have eyes anyway. As you start to get the hang of walking, your entire world suddenly begins to shrink. The droplet evaporates under the morning sun, getting smaller every second. As you feel your body drying out, panic sets in. Your first enemy isn't a predator, but the relentless laws of basic physics. When the last bit of moisture vanishes, something strange happens to your body. Instead of dying like most creatures, you shrivel into what scientists call a tun state. In this moment, you're like a dried-up husk, your metabolism slowed to nearly nothing. You're not dead, but life isn't exactly great either. You just wait, maybe for hours, maybe days. While you're dehydrated, time doesn't really matter. Luckily, rain soaks the leaves, and water seeps back into your shriveled body. You come back to life, as if nothing happened. This is your first brush with cryptobiosis, and you don't even know it's deadly. Turns out, not dying is your superpower, but you haven't even realized how special you are. Rehydrated and ready, you start moving again. Your stomach begins to rumble. It's time for your first meal. You waddle over to a clump of algae and pierce its cell wall with your tube-like mouth, sucking out its juicy insides. It feels like you're sipping the world's tiniest smoothie. It's not exactly delicious, but in the microscopic world, you eat what you can get. As you're chowing down, a shadow suddenly looms over you. It's a nematode, basically a microscopic version of the earthworms humans find in garden soil, slithering around your droplet. To you, facing it feels like staring down a wolf. It's 10 times your size, and definitely hungry. Here it comes, ready to make you its meal. You've been alive for less than a day, and the universe is already trying to turn you into someone's lunch. Being invisible to the human eye doesn't mean much when every other microbe can see you. Now's the time to test if those stubby legs can outrun death. The nematode lunges at you, its wriggling body cutting through your droplet like a submarine. Your tiny legs paddle frantically, but honestly, speed isn't your strong suit. Survival, however, is. Just as its mouth is about to close around you, you do something even you didn't expect. Your body instantly shrivels, entering that tun state again. Your limbs tuck in, not because you planned it, but because you're genuinely terrified. The nematode freezes, confused by its suddenly shriveled prey. It doesn't understand why you've turned into what looks like a tiny raisin. It nudges your dried-up body with its head, but there's no response. No movement, nothing worth eating. After a few more pokes, it gives up on you and moves on to find something alive. You've accidentally discovered your superpower, playing dead so convincingly that you're temporarily not alive. When you rehydrate again, you spring back to life, your limbs stretching out as you revive. You're back in action, having perfectly fooled another creature with your fake death. This is the tardigrade's ultimate skill. Your species is basically immortal. Now, fully rehydrated and healed from your tiny ordeal, you face your next challenge. In this world, where everything wants to kill you, growing up is tough, but you're already a full-fledged mini-adult. Unlike other creatures that go through larval stages, you came out of your egg, equipped with everything an adult needs, just in a slightly smaller size. Over the next few weeks, you can eat anything that fits your tube mouth. Algae, plant cells, bacteria. You're not picky. You're like a college freshman at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Your eating style isn't complicated. Poke a hole in the food with your mouth tube, suck out the contents, and move on to the next. Tasty or not, it fills your belly. In your tiny droplet world, every day brings new challenges. Sometimes the water completely dries up, forcing you back into that tun state. Other times, rain floods you, washing you to a brand new place, maybe a puddle teeming with other microbes. To them, you're the weird new kid on the block. To you, it's a whole new world, full of potential food and potential predators. Speaking of predators, they're everywhere, like this cone-shaped creature called a rotifer. It creates whirlpools to suck in food. Super annoying. Luckily, you've learned to spot the currents they create, and paddle away in the opposite direction. One morning, disaster strikes again. The temperature plummets overnight, and your droplet starts to freeze. For most microbes, this is a death sentence. Ice crystals form inside cells, shredding them game over. But not for you. As the ice begins to form, your body produces special proteins that protect your cells from ice damage. At this point, you enter a variant of cryptobiosis, your metabolism nearly halting. The entire droplet freezes solid, and you're suspended inside, like a prehistoric mosquito trapped in amber. Days pass, maybe weeks, maybe months. Time in your cryptobiotic state doesn't really register until the spring sun melts your icy prison. You wake up, completely unharmed, no frostbite, not even a hint of hypothermia. Just another great day for a tardigrade. What's it like to routinely die and come back? It's like other creatures live in normal mode, while you have the ability to hit save at any time. The difference is, every time you unpause, the world around you has completely changed. The ice finally melts, and after 8 months frozen in the microscopic world, you're now fully grown, though still just half a millimeter long. For a tardigrade, that's practically giant status. Your translucent body has smooth, graceful lines, plump like a little bear. If humans didn't need special equipment to see you, they'd probably squeal over how cute you are. As you get your bearings, you realize you're no longer in that mossy patch. Freezing and thawing carried you to a new territory, the garden soil in someone's backyard. Huge, chunky grains of dirt loom like skyscrapers. Plant roots tower like massive redwood trees. This land is bursting with life, bacteria and fungi sprawling like miniature cities. After 8 months of being frozen, your hunger for food is stronger than ever. You spot a cluster of algae growing in a thin layer of moisture. Your 8 legs clumsily shuffle toward it. Once you're close, your mouth tube pierces the cell wall like a needle, sucking out its essence. It's like sipping juice from a juice box. There's plenty more algae around, so you feast to your heart's content. After your meal, something catches your eye. You see another tardigrade, about your size, moving through the nearby soil. Seeing one of your kind gets you instantly excited. Upon closer inspection, it's actually a female. Your little heart starts racing. After months of solitude, meeting another of your kind feels like stumbling across a celebrity. However, tardigrade mating isn't exactly romantic. No fancy dinner dates, no cozy movie nights, and definitely no cheesy pickup lines. It's more like an awkward microscopic square dance. You cautiously approach, knowing one wrong move might scare her off. Instead of a soulmate, courtship, if you can call it that, involves circling each other while waving your front legs. Scientists might generously call it a mating dance, but to you, it's just a clumsy 8-legged flail. Once she decides to accept your genetic material, the real action begins. Yup, you heard that right. For tardigrades, mating starts with the female laying eggs. Let's keep it family-friendly here, and skip the details. You can use your imagination. For some tardigrades, the process is simple and straightforward. You release, she collects the sperm cells, and the whole thing takes about 15 minutes. Then you both go your separate ways. She doesn't even give you the courtesy of a goodbye. You're back to your solitary, death-defying lifestyle. She'll lay 1 to 30 eggs, either scattered freely in the environment or tucked away in her old, shed cuticle layers like a microscopic stroller. Those eggs might carry your genetic legacy, continuing your mark on the world, or maybe not. After all, female tardigrades can sometimes reproduce without males through parthenogenesis. So, your contribution might not even be necessary. After years of cryptobiosis and pauses, surviving freezing cold and scorching heat, you've entered what humans would call old age. But for a tardigrade, that's just a relative term. One day, disaster strikes in an unexpected way. The soil you've been living in gets scooped up and separated from the main garden. A chunk of dirt containing you and your microscopic neighbors is tossed into a backyard, into a forgotten corner, a dry, exposed area with no protection. As the sun beats down on your new location, the soil around you dries out rapidly. For you, entering the toon state is second nature by now. Your body systematically shuts down, your 8 legs curl up, and you shrivel into a dehydrated shell. To you, this is just another day. But this time, something feels different. Maybe it's the wear from hundreds of cycles before, or maybe the conditions in this exposed pile of dirt are particularly harsh. As the last bit of moisture evaporates, you realize this won't be a short pause. You settle in, quietly accepting that this could be a long wait. As a tardigrade, most creatures envy your near immortality. In the tun state, you can survive extreme radiation, the vacuum of space and pressures, 6 times greater than the deepest ocean trenches. You can survive almost anything, but there are still things that can permanently end your life. Like temperatures above 300 degrees, which destroy the special proteins protecting you, killing you for real, not just pausing you. Certain chemicals and toxins can also break down your protective barriers, or a creature might crush or swallow your body, which is just as deadly. As you enter this latest cryptobiotic state, you don't know when or if you'll rehydrate again. You might get blown by the wind to a new place, reviving years or even decades later when conditions are right. Or you might end up somewhere so dry that no water reaches you for a century. Or maybe you'll end up in a bizarre environment, like a lab, where humans deliberately expose you to conditions no creature could survive. The truth is, no one knows exactly how long a tardigrade can stay in the tun state and still successfully revive. Some of your kind have come back after 30 years of complete dryness, but the upper limit remains a mystery. You're not dead, but you're not truly alive either. As a tardigrade, you exist on the edge of life and death forever.